Hey my friends, this is Daniel Alley, and today I want to talk with you about how to become the boss of your own organization. In other words, today I'm going to tell you about how you can become the CEO of your business, the president, the leader, whatever title you plan to use, because I run my own company and I have a lot of people who come and help me to do the right thing at the right time in the right way. So listen up as I give you these very wonderful tips that will help you to become your own boss. The first tip is to accept the challenge. Now, when you're the CEO of your own company, there's going to be people coming at you from all different directions, wanting what you have. Some people are going to be jealous. Some people are going to want you to do something that you don't feel comfortable doing. You have to be willing to take on the challenge. You have to be willing to wake up early, stay up late. You have to be willing to go without food, to hold your bathroom breaks, to sacrifice yourself on the highest level if you want to become the CEO of your own business. You will be facing tons of pressure. You'll have to hire people, fire people, and make executive decisions that only you in your organization are capable of making. When you're the CEO of your company, you must live fearlessly. You must be able to travel on command, even when your schedule doesn't even permit it. If someone says, come out to Miami right now, you have one day. You have to book the ticket, fly out there with your team, and be willing to present or do something that the person is asking you if it's a big enough opportunity. You must be prepared at all times. I'll give you a clear example of a president or prime minister of their country. Now, when these worldly leaders wake up, they don't necessarily have the option to do whatever they want. They can't just say, well, I want to go play golf right now, or I want to spend some time with my wife or husband. They must act according to their schedule, according to their itinerary. They must move with the flow. They cannot question the things that are going on in their life. They must accept the challenge and be willing to do the things that the people are asking them to do because they're there to serve the public. The second tip is to make fast decisions. Now, the mass majority of people don't even know how to make decisions. And as a big leader yourself, you have to make fast decisions. So not only do you have to know how to make decisions, but you have to make them utterly fast. So for instance, when you wake up, you cannot decide what you want to eat for breakfast, or if you want to work out or not today, or if you should click on a headline. You have to know exactly what you want. You have to be prepared. You have to mentally train yourself so you can always be ready to make those quick trigger decisions. There's a research study that shows that the average person makes a couple hundred decisions every day. The average CEO makes tens of thousands of decisions a day because they have to constantly be monitoring what is going on and be ready to pull the trigger on any necessary decision, even if they don't have enough information to make that decision. I'll give you a good example of a leader of their sports team. Let's say they're a quarterback in American football and they have to make quick decisions. It's game time, the pressure is on, and they have to be willing to know who to throw the ball to, or when to run, or when to make a certain move at any particular moment. Someone playing basketball, they have to know when to take the shot, when to make the pass, when to play defense. Someone who's playing baseball, they have to know when to swing the bat. The soccer player needs to know when to kick, when to pass, when to sprint, when to jog, how to conserve their energy. And when the pressure comes on, these athletes must be prepared to be able to take on the challenge to win for their team. The third tip is to listen carefully. You see, a lot of times people don't know how to listen. They listen to respond. They don't listen to understand. And so you have to be willing to listen if you want to become the CEO, even if you know you're right. Because so many people have opinions, and you must be willing to accept them and alter your perspective so that you can become a much better person. I learned that the best listening comes when you listen with your eyes. When you're able to look someone in the eye and hear their full story without saying a word at all. When you listen with your eyes, you're able to help the other person understand that you care about what they're saying and that you're there to help them to solve any concerns that they might have. Another important aspect is to realize that you're always under scrutiny, so you have to listen to what the critics and haters are saying. Sometimes they're whispering because they're always watching what you say or what you do or how you react, how you respond to certain situations. and people are going to write about you. People are going to talk about you. And in this online world, you're going to see a lot of comments if you plan to be famous. So you must be prepared. You must listen to what they're saying, because sometimes they might say it in an evil way or a way that doesn't seem like they love you, but you have to be willing to hear them out. You have to be willing to understand and make adjustments along the way. Let me give you a clear example. Let's say someone like Beyonce comes out with a new hit, and all of a sudden, within the first few hours, there's millions of people that are attracted to it. Obviously, there's going to be thousands of people that leave their comments, and many of these comments are going to be ignorant. Many of them will make no sense at all, and some of them will be downright disgusting. Now, Beyonce is not going to go through the comment section and try to evaluate her options and hear everyone out in that day. But throughout time, as she becomes better, I guarantee you that she will read some of those comments and be able to make some adjustments as she creates more hits for the people. The fourth tip is to focus on the main goal. When you're the CEO of your company, you have to be in charge of your business. You must focus on the bottom line. Yes, the money really matters. Now, when you're walking around the office and you see trash is overflowing, or the stapler needs to be refilled, or the counters need to be wiped, don't take your time on that $1 activity when you could be focusing on $1 million project. Your attention really matters, and if you're putting your attention on small things, you will get small results. Now, if you put your attention on big things, you're going to get big results. So focus on the main event. The fifth tip is to be there. At every moment of the day, people will always be calling you on the phone, banging on the door, and making sure that you're all right. You have to be ready to handle all these people. People will come to you with their emotions. People will come to you with what seems to be small problems, but to them, it's really big. And you have to be willing to hear them out. You have to be willing to be there at any time, in any way, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. As a CEO, you have to be willing to work at least 12 hours a day. Now, if you're coming from a 9-to-5 job and you cannot do that because you can't make the adjustment, then you have a severe problem there. If you're someone who's used to working only 5 days a week and you're being asked to work 6 or 7 days a week for many weeks straight, then there's a problem. You have to be willing to make the change. You have to sacrifice. If you're willing to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, then you have a chance of becoming a successful CEO. If you want your 9-to-5, 5 days a week, then forget about it. You cannot qualify as a CEO of your company. Now you might be asking, well, Daniel, isn't there a time where you have to take off? And the answer is no, you get no chance. Now, even though the office might be closed, you still have to count the numbers. You still have to check in with people. You still have to take care of yourself. You're constantly in business. You always have to work 168 hours a week, even when you're sleeping, because even sleeping will be a job as a CEO. The sixth and final tip is to over-communicate your message. Now, when it comes to communication, people have different ways of understanding your message. Some people are visual learners. They have to see. Some people are auditory. They have to hear. Some people are kinesthetic. They have to feel and they have to do. So you have to be willing to over-communicate your message so all these people can understand what you're trying to convey. The fact is that you have to tell people your vision over and over again in many different ways. You might have to tell the same person the same thing 12 different times. But the fact is that it doesn't matter, because once that person really understands what you're saying, then they're going to act according to what you're planning to do in your own business. Another point is that people always need constant reinforcement. They always need reminders. A lot of times you have to tell people it's Monday morning, it's time to get back to work, even though they might be used to the weekend. The fact is that your people are not as motivated as you are most of the time. So you have to be willing to over-communicate your message so that they fully understand what you're saying and willing to do what you want them to do. A great example of this is what happens to film directors when they know they have the next blockbuster hit. Once they form the vision in their mind, they decide to write the script. But obviously they need actors and they must direct the movie so that it can come into fulfillment. One of my favorite movies, The Titanic, was created by James Cameron. Now he knew in order to conduct the perfect movie, he had to tell his actors where to stand and what to say and how to use their emotions correctly so that he can create the best movie. And that's why the Titanic is one of the most perfect films that was ever created. In summary, if you want to become the CEO of your company, you must pay the cost if you want to be the boss. There's so many different prices that you must pay. So make sure you watch this video again and take in those 6 tips that I shared with you so you can run your own business like a CEO. Thanks for watching this video, my friends. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please leave a comment below and make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can be your own boss.